KNBR Off-AIr finally on the air. Tom Tolbert, Adam Copeland, Derek Papa, Tim Webb coming in shortly. We all good now? We had major technical difficulties. Tom, you got us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see shit.
Well, damn it.
What do you mean can't see shit?
Like I'm blind. I can't see anything right now.
Well, you know what we look like.
I got a black screen.
That's interesting. All right, we'll figure that one out.
Don't make that racial.
It's like when it's like when we posted that black square for George Floyd. We're going black screen for a little extra Black history. They're going to sprinkle in our extra 2 or 3 days throughout the year because we only got 28. Anyway, what's up, Tom?
Stop bitching, okay?
Hey,
There's another one. There's another one coming around the corner. It always does.
February?
Yeah. It's almost here.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, almost
around the corner.
Yeah, right.
Before we get into stuff, real quick, I want to we got shows at local breweries coming up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're going to Almanac and we're going to Fieldwork. Almanac right near me and Tom, and Fieldwork around San Mateo and San Leandro and San Ramon. So just want to tell all the listeners out there that Tolbert and Copes will be doing the 49er tailgate shows coming up next Friday. So we'll be at Almanac Beer Company in Alameda on September 27th. We'll be there again October 4th. We'll be at Fieldwork in San Mateo October 18th. October 25th, we're back in Alameda at Almanac. November 15th, we're in Fieldwork in San Leandro. And then December 6th, we are at Fieldwork and San Ramon. So come on out. We'll be drinking beers and talking football.
Damn right we will.
Yep.
Oh, we're at Almanac back-to-back weeks?
Yes, we are, starting September 27th.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
All right, Tom.
Hopefully I won't be profusely bleeding from the arm and the shoulders, but I should be good to go.
Is that about your skin?
Yeah, I got to go get some stuff chopped off. Looking forward to that, as always.
What area is getting chopped off, Tom?
They're always chopping things off, aren't they? They love to chop.
Yeah,
Snip,
left,
snap.
Left forearm and both shoulders.
Oh.
I got like matching ones on my shoulders. I'm like, how does that happen? I don't wear tank tops.
You're going to let him come in a tank top? Make him come in a tank top?
No, I don't come in a tank
Stuff's
top.
got to breathe after we do the lopping.
Well, you know that
so-
ACDC shirt could turn into a tank top eventually.
I don't even know what that is.
Maybe
It's
that's
its
how
own
it happened, Tom. Maybe
it's
too
its
much
own separate subspecies.
too much sun getting through that ACDC shirt, dude.
Is what it is.
Like, I don't wear tank tops. They're like, do you happen to have an ACDC shirt?
Yeah, that ACDC shirt's like SPF 4. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't stop anything. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm. I don't know. Maybe I'll wear it out in public, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can pull that one off. That thing's like hobo. That's not even hobo chic. It's just hobo. That's all it is. But I'm keeping it. I'll wash it too, so it looks like coming out of the wash.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Hold it up. It's still there.
Hold it up.
It could be a nice rag eventually.
It could be. It absolutely will be. I don't know if I could do that to ACDC, though.
Yeah, that's kind of disrespectful.
I mean that's disrespectful
to Angus
the band.
Young.
That's a great band.
Yeah,
that's
of course.
A Hall of Fame band. So I
Yeah.
don't know if I could turn them into a rag, a chamois. So to
Sham
speak.
wow.
So yeah, sham wow. So now I'll probably, I don't know. Maybe I'll frame it. Suitable for framing.
Nice.
I'll put it up in the guest room. Then maybe that's what I'll do. I'll frame it and I'll put it on the wall behind me here, so
You're gonna frame
can see it when I'm doing the show.
Make sure the background of the flat part that the shirt is up against is black, so that we can see the tattered and like the battle wounds of the shirt. You know what I mean, like you want to. It's like Purple Hearts all over it. You want to see that thing.
I might have to do like glass on both sides of it. I don't know if they can do something like that, but then I can rotate it back to front and everybody can just see
Like stage it with some lighting.
Yeah, exactly.
have it
Stage with
spinning,
some lighting.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think
It's just playing ACDC under it too. You got music banging underneath it while it's
that'd be incredible.
all spinning.
That would be incredible. Maybe I'll have like a little like one of those platinum records put in the lower left-hand corner of the T-shirt. Just be the T-shirt and then have a little record like the Back in Black album, something like that.
This shirt went platinum.
Yeah, I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
I think that would be really nice. So, yeah, I should be good to go.
Nice.
We'll see. They said they're going to try to get them all at one whack. Just try to do them all at once, but they said that I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do that. I go, obviously, I would prefer if you did that, so I don't got to go back in twice.
Is that the terminology the doctor used, all in one whack?
Yep, that's what they said. On one whack.
Just gonna whack it once, dude.
You know how Stanford talks.
Yeah,
that's how they do it.
that's real.
Very professional.
Stanford Medical Center, where we whack stuff off.
We call it a
whack
whack.
stuff off.
It's a whack off.
We whack it off, baby. Let's go.
Dude.
Let's get it done.
That's what the whack conference should do. They should like lean into that.
The whack conference.
Yeah, they should use that as a slogan. Whack on, whack off.
Is there a whack football conference?
Is it just
I'm not
hoops?
even sure there is one anymore.
Is it still around?
I think it's still. I know it's hoops.
Maybe it's
I'm
good.
not sure.
I don't know if it's still there for football.
Because football, you got like the AAC and the Sun Belt and all those, and I'm going to look right here. I do have it in front of me. All the conferences.
No, they have it. Western Athletic Conference
do?
football.
Okay.
Yep.
Keep the whack alive.
Keep the whack alive. Yeah, whack on, whack on.
Whack on, whack off.
Oh no, this is. Oh no, I think it's just a. No, maybe it's not.
Is it just a
Oh
basketball
no,
thing?
it may be Abilene
You
Christians.
got the American Conference USA,
Yeah.
the MAC, the Mountain West, Sun Belt,
Mm-hmm.
ACC, Big 12, Big 10, SEC. So there is no WAC football unless it's a lower level. Because all the WAC teams now are in the Mountain West.
You only whack on the hardwood, is what you're saying.
And yeah, exactly.
right.
Yes, they do. Sounds a little dirty, but
Speaking of the return of Harmony on Friday.
Harmony
like
back
it.
on Friday.
Harmony back on Friday.
Yeah.
Harmony will love going to the breweries with us.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oof.
Yeah, oh yeah. You let Harmony loose with some brews.
Damn. Yeah,
She'll
well,
be good to go.
She's like, I bring my own Negroni in a.
we'll see if the Almanac crowd loves Harmony.
She always carries a thermos full of booze anyway, so maybe she'll bring
So
her
what's
own.
going to happen to the Mountain West now? Because Boise's leaving, Fresno's leaving, San Diego State's leaving, and Colorado State.
Well, are you going to really miss
Or
that
leaving.
conference, Tom?
I think it's an abomination anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the Pac-12 isn't the Pac-12 anymore. It's just not. They can call it whatever the hell they want to call it, but that's low budget. Pac-12 is what it is.
Yeah.
And they said they're adding 2 new teams. I would assume Vegas would be logical, and they said one of them might be Memphis. I go, you know what? I thought, what are you doing? Pac-12, you're just gonna make it like any other stupid conference where you're taking anybody. And then I said, what do I care? I don't care anymore. That's not the conference that I grew up with. It's not the conference I played in, not the conference I know. So it's just you do what you want with it. It's although I do have to say I was rooting for both Oregon State and Washington State. Washington State got it done. Oregon State got torched.
Yeah, they did.
But anytime they play those two teams, I want to see them. I want to see them do well. They kind of got screwed. So, but the Pac-12, it's like, who cares? I mean, you kidding me? The Pac-12, Fresno State and Boise in the Pac. Please get out of here with that crap.
So wait, Oregon State and Oregon played last weekend. Is that the earliest Civil War we've ever had?
Yeah, I think it's the earliest Apple Cup we've ever had as well. So we got both. Yeah,
That's
we
like
got
first
both
regular
of them.
season game, right? Yeah. Week 2
I
or
was
whatever.
like second. Yeah, I think second, maybe third. I'm not sure.
It was last week. I always get confused with week 0, and then it's one off from the NFL and stuff.
No, we're week 3 now.
Yeah, it's week 3.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So week 0 is the week before the NFL starts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we had what was it? Florida State and Georgia Tech in Ireland.
Florida State.
Talk about a bad team.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
So 3 weeks.
Got beat by Memphis at home.
So 3 weeks in, Tom, how you liking the new conference realignment? Does it really mess with you when you're watching the games, or are you just enjoying college football?
No. And look, you're getting some really, really good matchups. And coming up, we're going to get Bama at Oklahoma. We're going to get Georgia at Texas. We're going to get some really cool games in the SEC. This week we get USC at Michigan, which is like, again, for those of us that grew up on the West Coast and are used to watching the Rose Bowl, which always used to be when I was growing up, Big Ten, Pac-10 at the time.
Right. New Year's Day.
We're going to get like 7 Rose Bowls per year.
Yeah.
Like Ohio State goes to Oregon. That's going to be a Rose Bowl. There's like 7 Rose Bowls per year. So from that standpoint, it's cool. I hope more teams do what, and I know this was scheduled beforehand, but I hope more teams do what Bama and Texas do, which is go on the road, play a road game against a tough team. Now, Wisconsin's not, I don't think they're very good this year, but they didn't know that when they scheduled the game. So I'm hoping more teams will say, you know what, we can lose a game now, and it's not going to hurt us to go and lose at the Big House or at Camp Randall. I think next year, I think Texas goes to Ohio State. next year, which is a really, really cool game. So, yeah, the more of those type of games that you can get, I think it's better for college football. And then we're going to get some really, really cool conference matchups in the Big Ten and the SEC, conference matchups we didn't get before. Like we're getting in a couple weeks, maybe even next week, I think we're getting Georgia at Bama, which you never got Georgia at Bama during the regular season. That never happened. It was always either they played in the SEC championship game or they didn't play at all. So the fact they're playing now, probably because the conference realignment has something to do with it, that we're going to get some of those games. I think it's good for college football and college football fans. The more of those games you can get heading to the playoffs, and then I just looked at the play. I never do this because I don't care. It's September. Who cares what the playoff matchups would be at this point, because they're not going to be the same when we get to the playoffs. But just looking at them, you're like, wow. You could get USC and Bama in the first round. You could get, Texas. They had Texas playing Northern Illinois. But, you had, who was it? Oregon and Tennessee playing in the first. I was just looking going, wow, that first weekend of college football playoffs is going to be insane.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild. And those are on home site, too. So it's going to be Oregon going to Tennessee or Tennessee going to Oregon. USC going to Bama and playing in Tuscaloosa. The bowl games will be cool because you're going to get different type of matchups. But I think that first weekend is going to be pretty awesome because you're going to get 4 games. They're all going to be really, really fun matchups. And even the one matchup that'll probably be the 12 and the 5 when you get a non-Power 5 team. That's going to be your first weekend, Maryland-Baltimore County beating Virginia. 16 never beats 1, but it'll happen one of these years where 12 will beat a 5. So, we'll watch because it's the playoffs and it means something. And just think what it means to those non-Power 5 teams to be able to be in that situation. They actually have a chance to win the national championship. I mean, they don't. They got a 0.000000001% chance, if that.
Utarsky.
But it's still cool, right? That they're going to have a shot at it. These guys have these little schools have a Boise if they play really well. They have something to play for. So, when I looked at the matchups, I was I know they're not going to be these matchups, but just looking at them, I was oh, this is going to be the first week. I think the first weekend of college football will be the coolest weekend of college football, maybe since New Year's Day, back when it was New Year's Day and you had 7 different games and it was really fun. But even then, you could have 1 and 2 playing in different bowl games, and you had the voters had to decide who was going to be the national championship. This is okay, they're going to get it decided on the field. We're going to get matchups that most of these teams wouldn't schedule because they were afraid to schedule because they didn't want to lose a game early in the season and put themselves out of the national championship running. They're going to be at home, whoever is a higher seed gets to play at home. So it's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be a really good thing now it's turning it into NFL junior. It's no longer, but it hasn't been college football for quite some time. But for someone who really likes college football and loves just sitting down and watching college football, I can't wait. I think that's going to be really, really, really cool. And I looked, I'm did the Warriors play that day? They don't, yes. Because I'd have to be sick.
So pure.
So pure. I'd have to be sick that day.
Speaking of Tennessee, you brought them up. Tom, did you see what they did last week against Kent State?
Yeah. Did you see the score? Was it half?
Yeah.
65-0.
Yeah, that's bad.
At halftime.
Well, okay, they pulled to Klay Thompson. They scored 37 in the first quarter, and then they decided to onside kick. What are you doing?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. They were up 30, and they onside kicked. And I'm are all the starters trying to hit a party in the second half?
Wow.
It's so ruthless.
Wow.
That's fucking
I
ruthless.
wish I would have seen that. I did not see that.
Run it up. We stopped for nothing.
Jeez.
It's terrible.
Did you guys see what happened with Tennessee in the news today?
No.
They're going to raise their ticket prices 10% so that the team can now pay the players through NIL.
They can't afford it.
Yeah, sorry, we can't afford to do it, so we're just going to have the fans do it.
I'm glad you mentioned that. They cleared $75 million in profit last year.
$75 million.
So they're going to raise ticket prices 10% so that they can pay all the players, or at least entice players to come through the portal, while clearing $75 million in the meantime.
So they're not paying the players.
No.
The people going to the games are going to pay the players.
So you can get a hot dog, get a soda, pay some players.
It's the American way. Pay your players.
It'd be great if they had somebody out front like those like Salvation Army around Christmas, like in the Santa
Yeah,
outfits,
the bell.
like, ringing a bell.
Pay the players. Volunteer to pay a volunteer.
Ding.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Well, Justin Hypo wouldn't have to use the pillow in his stomach. He could just he'd just put on the Santa outfit. He'd be perfect. Put on the beard, he'd be good to go. Like, oh wow, that's some nerve right there.
Yeah.
That's some nerve. Like, it's not quite as bad as raising your ticket prices and then not paying your players. Oakland A's. That's even worse. Hey, we're gonna raise the ticket prices. What do we get? What's the money going toward? Yeah, me. Yeah, I'm just gonna take it. Okay. You gonna sign somebody? Nope. No. You gonna lower ticket price? You gonna raise beer? You gonna nope. Nah, I just want more money. I just want more money.
Just the A's now, Tom, too. Just the A's.
Yeah, I might use it. To upgrade the facilities in Sacramento.
Oh, no. Well, dude,
that you guys want
not for the playoffs.
You got this news, Tom?
But not for a playoff game. Not for a playoff game.
Yeah, they said that if they make the playoffs, they're likely not to play those games in Sacramento. We're like, what? Hold on.
They're going to unfinished Vegas for their playoff series. If they make the playoff series.
Oh, my God. I kind of hope they make it just for that reason. What if they're playing out in like some park in Vegas, just like some random park? Hey, kids, get off the field. We got next. We got a game coming up in about 2 hours.
Yeah, we got the park till noon.
Oh God!
No, don't start.
The backstop's going to be that chain link fence that kind of like curls over, like that thing in the.
Are you suggesting the A's would have an early start, Copes? Is that what you're getting back on this thing?
What's that? Oh, no, I was riffing on the no, I wasn't getting on that. I was just riffing on them playing in a park where you can like rent the space.
What was the whole thing? You and the old Diekman?
Yeah, Jake Diekman got really upset at me on Twitter during COVID because
he was pissed.
He was really pissed because do you remember the A's in 2020? Like, again, it was a short season, but they were like, what seed were they?
Third seed.
Third seed, and so they had to play in that, like, they played in what is now the wild card round of the playoffs.
Yes,
it was like
they
a best
played the White
2 of
Sox.
3.
Yeah.
And the White Sox had to go to Oakland, and the A's were the 3 seed and had a good record, but none of their games were in prime time, and they started them all at like 12 o'clock p.m. local time or 12:05 local time. And like Ramon Laureano was like bitching and moaning about it. Jake Diekman was like bitching and moaning about it. And I was like, on Twitter, I was like, are these guys serious? I was like, dude, you're playing. You haven't left the Pacific time zone in a month and a half. You're playing, laying in your own beds, and you're playing a game that would normally start at 12:45. And then I said something like, I don't know why Jake Diekman's bitching. Like, he's not going to pitch till like 3 o'clock anyway. Like, he's not. And they were talking about their body clocks getting thrown off. I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is ridiculous. And then Jake Diekman got real upset and came at me, and he goes, what are you, a Giants fan? And I said, no, I work on the flagship. Do you want to come on and talk about this tomorrow? And he said, no. No, he didn't.
Oh, classic move. Classic move.
No, he didn't.
No,
I don't.
I'm gonna insult the man and then ask him to come on the show.
And then his wife, came at me, and I said something back to her, and then he said, "Hey, you coming at my wife, guy?"
Yeah, Jesus. Coach.
Yeah, no,
I dropped a guy on you.
He dropped a guy. That was the best.
Dropped a guy on you.
And then he followed me on Twitter.
Oh, that's nice of him. That's nice of him.
After all that, I was like, all right, Diekman. All right. I'll donate to your Colitis Foundation. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why Ramon Laureano was complaining about it. He was too busy doing an interview with Dave Fleming on TV while he was in the outfield. I hated that.
That's right, he was.
That was so stupid.
That's right, he was. Didn't he get a ball hit over his head?
Yes, he did. It fucked the whole game up. It was so stupid.
Doesn't Diekman sound like a name from a guy from Major League? Like, get Diekman out there.
I think there was. Wasn't that that batter from the White Sox? What was his name?
That's
Parkman. I knew it was something, man.
Parkman. That's Major League 2, yeah.
Parkman, the way he dug in.
That shimmy in Cleveland makes the women squeal. Does he say something like that, right? When he digs into the box?
Yeah, something
That's when he digs into the first thing he says to Behringer. He goes, how's your wife and my kid? How's my wife? What does he say? Your wife and my kids?
Yeah, your wife and my kids.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's hard. It just feels like I can't even remember the A's in the playoffs. It feels like another reality.
Yeah.
Like the A's were actually in the playoffs.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. So, wow. I mean, they're not making the playoffs. We all know that.
No, not next year.
No. But maybe the Angels can play somewhere else, too. Like, if they make the playoffs.
That'd be fun.
They might as well. Look, they could tell the Angels, like, you're going to play on the moon if you make the playoffs.
Would you buy tickets?
Sweet. To the moon?
Yeah.
They're building the gravity dome. Yeah,
Hit up Elon.
As long as it's during the first week of football season, right?
That's right. Yeah, Tom's like,
that'll be part of my trip.
We're hitting up Minnesota, and then we're going to the moon.
Yeah, dude.
We're gonna go to the moon.
Yeah, we're gonna go down to Death Valley. We're gonna see game at LSU, and then we're gonna catch a little Halos and White Sox on the moon.
Civil War reenactment, and we're gonna go to the moon.
Go to Austin, catch the Longhorns, and that's where SpaceX is. So I'll catch a little flight to the moon. To the moon, Alice. Go to the moon, catch a playoff game. Come on down.
On the moon.
Bring us back some space dust. Yeah.
Oh God, that'd be amazing.
Speaking of your trip, how was so you saw Wisconsin, Alabama, and then
we did.
But before that, you saw Texas and Michigan. So both stinkers, but probably good environments to watch football.
Great environment. The Big House was awesome. Like, I'm glad we went. We were there with a former Michigan football player. I think I told you, former quarterback there, John Wangler.
Oh.
So, yep, he was there, and he had a great tailgate. He said it's grown, probably almost too much now. He said his mom did the tailgate for 40 years, and she passed away a few years ago, and he kept it going. But it used to be, he said, just kind of like a smallish tailgate, friends and family, and then Michigan people and everything, and it kind of grew and grew and grew. And then everybody was going to that tailgate. And the Michigan football players, the Alumni Association, I guess they had a tailgate too, and it wasn't like, didn't have as many people as this tailgate. And they asked John, you go, hey, is there any way we could maybe like combine the two? And he goes, yeah, sure. I don't see why we couldn't. So then it became really big, and he said it's been big. So you walk in this huge tent, and it's got the food catered by a really nice Mexican restaurant. It's got a full bar there. They got waiters and waitresses rolling around. I mean, it was pretty big time. So we went there, hung out there for a little bit, and then went in the stadium and just kind of walked around. And it was like, it's just so many people in there. And the environment was really, really cool. Right up until Texas started kicking their ass, then it was, then it wasn't all that cool because, well, everybody's rooting for Michigan. So that was really, really cool. Glad we did that. And again, it's just so different. Like going to a USC game back in the day, the Coliseum, parking's always a hassle. And again, we parked in a neighborhood. Walked maybe a mile at most.
Oh, that's sweet.
Through the neighborhood. You know, the frat parties are going on and everything, and everybody's out in their yard tailgating and hanging out and having beer and cooking out and that kind of stuff. And then you walk through a neighborhood, and you just cross the street, and boom, there's a giant M in the Big House right there.
That's sweet.
So yeah, it was really, really cool. You know, no parking lots, none of that. And then, so from Detroit, we drove to Minnesota, and you go right through Madison. So Madison's like 4 hours from Minnesota. So we actually backtracked Saturday to go to the Bama-Wisconsin game. But we stopped in the Capitol, grabbed some lunch there, and kind of cruised around a little bit. And then drove to Minnesota, and then kind of hung out that week. Didn't do much. Went to the Twins game. And it's funny. I'll send you guys a picture. We were sitting behind home plate. Shout out to Franny for hooking us up with some tickets there. Franny knows everybody. He goes, I got you. We got you. I know somebody. So he knew somebody. Got his tickets. And we were sitting behind home plate, maybe like 25, 30 rows. And it was drizzling a little bit. So we just moved ourselves back a little bit to be under the underhang. And it was closer to the beer. So we were just kicking back, watching the game. And all of a sudden, my buddy Steve was gone. I was like, where'd Steve go? And I look up, and there's like nobody sitting in the bleachers. Hardly anybody. And he went like to the euchre seats, like almost very top right field, just sitting up there. And I noticed, I go, is that? And my buddy Bergie goes, yeah, it's Steve. He goes, he just sent me a picture. He goes, yeah, I'm up. He goes, look where I am. So he was just up there just watching the game. And there was 20 kids that were sitting above him. I don't know if they were part of a high school team or an amateur team or something like that. They're just sitting up there having a good time, yucking it up, watching the game. And Steve decided because it was $1 hot dog night, he was going to go buy them all hot dogs. So he went 20 hot dogs for $20, brought them all up, and just started throwing them at him like a vendor. Choo, boom, boom. You get a hot dog. 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 So they all got hot dogs, and he sat up there and watched the game for about an inning. And then I thought he was going to come back to the seats, and he was gone. He missed like 3 jacks. I was like, bro, did you see that home run? No, I missed it. Like, what were you doing?
I was buying the 16th hot dog. Yeah.
I was playing cornhole.
Number 16 wanted relish, and I had to go back. Taking orders. Yeah.
I go, what are you doing? Playing cornhole. He goes, yeah, I was playing cornhole
for money.
There.
Cornhole's fun, by the way.
I don't think they play. I don't think they played for money, although he like loves playing. Like they had a cornhole thing at the house we were staying at. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan because it hurts my shoulder. My shoulder's so jacked up. I almost got to run up to the line and then like throw it underhand. So
Jesus, just have them lop it off when you go to Stanford.
I should. No, whack it off.
Whack it off.
So,
by the way, real quick, you mentioned this earlier on the air when we were doing our show. You said, I don't know if you can do that at Oracle Park. Somebody did check in and said down behind the bleachers or under the bleachers, down by where the garden is, and I now know this. They've got a little like play zone down there. There is cornhole. There is in fact.
There is cornhole down there. Yep. Okay, very good.
Baseball and cornhole, as American as apple pie, dude. Yeah, cornhole.
So he's actually pretty good. Like I couldn't even come close to beating him. Bird couldn't come close to beating him, and he loves playing. He goes, let's play some more. I go, why? I go, that's like me saying, let's play 1-on-1. Was it fun to get your ass kicked over and over and over again? I go, if I just want to drink beer, then I'll just stand out here and watch you play Bergie, and you could kick his ass, and I'll drink beer. I don't need to enhance my enjoyment by playing cornhole. So he's playing, and he goes, hey, you guys. So he walks up to this cornhole. What do you call it? It's not a table. It's a board or
board.
I don't know. Cornhole. I was called cornhole game. And he goes, hey, mind if I join? And then he's playing against this person again. This person's pretty good. Almost a pro. I'm like, what does that even mean? So he goes, well, I'm okay. I'm okay. And so he plays his first 4. Boom.
Through the hole?
Boom. Yep, 8 in a row. And they're like, oh, what? Oh, hey. I sound like Steve Young. Oh, wait, what are you doing? Hey, oh, man.
He's corn all over the place.
I wish I could play cornhole in this generation.
It's pretty good. Wow. I like it. He's got a smooth stroke, doesn't he? Hey. So then as he was walking away, he took it and he threw it like 3 boards over and made that one too, and just walked away. I go, you're way too proud of yourself right now.
I will smash you for this.
I go, I can feel it.
Thanks,
I go, you're way too proud of your cornhole prowess.
I'm on the ESPN page where they use the official cornhole terminology. So it's called a cornhole when the beanbag just goes straight through the hole. When you get 3 points, it's just called a cornhole. Here's another one, a good one we've never heard of, a dirty bag.
A dirty.
I think we've heard of that, haven't we?
Yeah, actually,
those sounds like terms I used to use in high school.
Yeah, exactly. Occasionally, the bag hits the ground before bouncing and rolling up onto the cornhole board. That is what it's called, resulting in, quote, a dirty bag.
A dirty bag. I throw a lot of dirty bags in.
No points given for a dirty bag, it says.
Yeah, no dirty bag points.
All right.
No dirty bag points. And so, yeah, and the cornhole, we're
There's
playing
a glory hole too, by the way. They got one called.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Bill Martin. Yeah.
When a player tosses a bag and it goes into the hole without touching the cornhole board at all, it's sometimes called a glory hole. It's like
so no rimming.
It's like when you hit the yeah, exactly, dude. No rim.
Always got to avoid a rim job.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, there's all sorts of crazy names on this thing.
I bet you someone's
There's a lipper.
Lipper.
I hate a lipper.
Oh, the lipper. Oh, the lipper.
Johnsonville Brats, big cornhole sponsor. Big cornhole sponsor.
Oh,
Are they?
Yeah.
Are you watching those? Are you watching those during the Ocho, Tim?
It's funny because that programming has kind of made its way onto like ESPN2 stuff late at night. It's not even just the Ocho anymore.
Slippery stairs.
Yeah, like here comes some lube. No, the Johnsonville Brats people are all over it. It's
they are. They like that.
By the way, a rim job is a technical cornhole term. Sometimes a bag will look like it's going to go in, but then it hits the side or lip of the hole and bounces
leaning
out
into it. They know what they're doing.
Ground.
They know exactly
what they're doing.
Well, yeah.
They know
the game
exactly
is called
what they're doing.
cornhole, guys. Yeah, we got it.
So,
God.
So wait, Tom, you skipped over. You went to the Rams-Lions game, right?
No, I told you I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I told you.
Sometime,
that was the one where we had the ticket snafu.
Dude, that story went on for so long we didn't even know what game it was anymore.
Yeah, that was the StubHub drip fees.
Hey, man,
that was a drip fee story.
I got a lot of stuff going on in the opening segment. Sometimes I don't
that
hear
was a drip fee. That was a drip fee story.
Okay.
I know what Tom's doing. And actually, we just went next door and watched it at home.
Yeah, that was $6.99. Yeah, we were outside.
That was the best
game. Like we went
game.
to Ford Field. No crap, it was the best game.
It went to OT, Tom. I don't know if you knew that.
You went to Detroit.
Yeah, dude, did you see what happened? David Montgomery ran like all the way down, dude, scored a touchdown at the end. It was pretty sick.
Great game.
Lions could have lost that game.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Where we get
I watched it. I watched it.
I say it's worth
on the couch.
I say it's worth the drip fee.
No, it wasn't worth the drip fee. That wasn't that we couldn't afford it. That was principle.
No, I get it.
There's just some things you're like, sorry, you're not. No,
I'm not getting this drip fee in.
You can't drip me for $280.
No drip.
You want to drip me for $80? Fine, that's cool. I can deal with those surcharges. Don't come at me and say, okay, an extra $280, and then say, well, to make sure the tickets are,
Yeah.
Then show them to me.
Yeah, it's shady.
Show me the price. And it should be that way. I had no idea because I didn't use it. My buddy used it, but I'd never even bought a ticket on that. Like, I had no idea what a drip fee was. I'm like, God, how do they get away with it?
I never heard that before in my life.
Apparently, they're not anymore. Apparently, they're not anymore because I could see where you get frustrated. You'd buy, and apparently, from what I was reading, it was the Taylor Swift concert that brought a light to all this because I guess all the Swifties were buying up all the tickets for the
I hate Taylor Swift. I hate her.
Yeah. And they were
Brittany Mahomes, though, beautiful girl.
To make it so much worse, Tom, it wasn't all the Swifties. It was the politicians in a state. I believe it was Minnesota. I'm not going to swear on this. There was a politician in Minnesota who had this exact same thing happen to it, and just because this person was in the state Senate or whatever, they brought the bill forward. That's how it got going. It wasn't even any Swifties.
Huh?
It was a
Really?
politician. Yeah.
Wow.
They call it the Taylor Swift law.
At least they did something halfway decent.
Yeah, but on their own selfish behalf, which is ridiculous.
Well, hey, look, but it does serve the greater good. Whether it's whether it's for you or not, that's fine. But at least it's not just for you, and you're not the only one benefiting from it. Like, everyone's going to benefit from this because I couldn't believe that. Like, I get it, surcharges and all that, but not.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? I mean, it was like $690, went to $970. So you're talking like 30% extra. Like, I mean, that's insane to think that happens all the time. It's like, what? And the point is that the whole principle to it is to show me. If I want to buy them, I'll buy them. Tell me exactly down to the penny what I have to pay.
Right.
What the surcharges are. And if I decide that's cool, then that's cool. And in fact, I might even be more likely to buy them just because they're being upfront. But what they're doing, they know what they're doing, and they do it because so many people would look and go, "Oh, I don't want the tickets now," because we posted them for $230. And in actuality, that $230 became $330. It's like, well, no, that's garbage, absolute garbage. So, yeah, first time in, last time in. I will not be doing that again.
No more drip.
I wouldn't. Yeah, no drip. No drip for me. No post-nasal drip. No that drip. Nothing. No.
It would be hilarious if you hit up Tarico and was like, hey, you got any tickets? He's like, I do, but I'll have to charge you a drip fee for that.
A drip free.
It's a drip fee.
Is it nasal or gonococcal? One or the other. What do you got? Kind of drip we working with here? That's probably a cornhole term.
Yeah, it probably is.
Somebody checked in, by the way, on the YouTube chat. I think it was Pat H. said, all he said was, what did he say? A dirty bag, John.
They ran the old dirty bag.
They ran the dirty bag there.
Oh, I love that dirty bag, Pop.
The Oscar Ken killed the dirty bag there. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All big motion on the dirty bag.
But that atmosphere, okay, so the Camp Rando atmosphere is really cool. And they're getting their asses kicked.
Yeah.
So basically, we're just like, okay, let's stay for the whole jump around thing. And to be here for that. So that everybody's jumping around and they play the music, and that was cool. I asked a Wisconsin fan, I go, is this thing like a lot more intense, a lot cooler when you guys aren't losing by 4 touchdowns? And he said, yeah. I go, I can imagine. It's not quite as cool. You can't get into it quite as much when it's like 35-10.
Yeah, that's bad.
So, but again, that was cool. Now that parking was not as easy. We were hoping it was going to be Michigan parking, but it was downtown, so we had to look forever to try and find a parking garage, and found one, and then got in some good steps that day. That was about a little over 2 miles. So we walked it, which isn't a problem, except I had slip-on Vans on. That didn't work out all that well for me. Yeah, slip-on Vans are not built for
2 miles.
Walking more than 100 yards.
Nope.
Yes. So we did that. Nice lather, though. Worked up by the time we got there, which was cool. The worst stadium setup up top, though, because we sat up top. And when you walk into the tunnel to go to your seats, So this is after, like, I don't know, 2.2, 2.3 miles. We're at almost the very top. And I was like, good Lord, are these stairs ever going to end? Like, I might blow out my aorta right here on the stairs. Like, the stairs were just wearing me out. So I get to the top of the stairs. Although it does one thing, it is definitely a deterrent to going down and grabbing beers and snacks. You're like, I had to come all the way back up those again? I'm good. I don't feel like going down there. But when you do go down there, you go down the stairs into the tunnel and out to the concourse. They set up the concession stands right on the other side of where the tunnel comes out. So it was just an absolute, utter disaster. I mean, you want to talk about people on top of people on top of people. I didn't even want to get in line. I just wanted to get out of the arena or get out of the stadium just for a second, go on the kind of the outside there so I can get some air. It took me 20 minutes to do that. So that was a little bit of a mess. But once the game was over, it was cool. Walked back to the car, drove back home. We had a whole bunch of games recorded, so we watched I'd say 2.5 quarters of the Civil War. Little bit we watched the entire Georgia-Kentucky game, which was interesting. What are you doing, Stoops? Go for it. 4th and 8, like midfield? Yeah. What are we doing here? You're trying to beat Georgia. How about just going for it and rolling the dice? Nah, let's punt it. First down, game over. Thanks for coming. So that was an interesting game, and that game was one of the reasons, I guess, Georgia moved down to 2. Texas 1. Matters? Not really. So, but yeah, we watched a lot of college football because all the games were recorded and nobody was checking scores. So we got home. We probably watched like 4 games. I stayed up a little later than they did, watching a few more games. Just had some beers, hung out, and then played golf a couple times with Jim Peterson, which was really cool. Nice course.
Nice.
And then Sunday was that I would recommend going to that stadium. That was a really cool atmosphere. Really easy to get into. They got an open end to it, so it's open air. Coming in, I don't know if it was what direction I was going, but one side of the end zone, which is like, sunlight coming in, air coming in. That was really, really cool. So I liked the arena. The setup was cool. Concession easy to get to, easy to navigate. There wasn't that many people in there. Restrooms easy, good lighting. And again, we were kind of up. Like I said, lower bowl, not top of the lower bowl, but close to the top. And again, I like those seats. And corner end zone, which is my favorite seat to have, because you can see what's going on. The 3-dimensionality kind of pops.
I like that angle. That's a cool angle.
Yeah, that's my favorite angle. Like, I don't want to be at the 50. I don't want to be down in the middle, because then everything becomes 2-dimensional at that point. Just get me up. So yeah, that was, and it was a good game. I mean, it was a fun game to watch. Weird game, right? I don't know if you guys felt the same way. Like, the score should have been much higher. Like, I don't think the Niner defense played as well as the total number of points would indicate, but I think their offense played better than the total number of points they had indicated. Like, you get stuffed inside the 5-yard line, and they're moving the ball. Thought Purdy played a really, really good game. Ayuk didn't do anything. I thought Williams struggled as well. That entire offensive line did not have a good game. Like, I thought with the pressure Purdy was dealing with, I thought he played really, really well. And you can see why the Shanahans always, not always, but a lot of times will go with high round picks or undrafted running backs. Because if they can do what they ask them to do, they're going to ball. Right? Mason's having a hell of a year. Like, he's really, I'm not saying they don't miss McCaffrey, because obviously they do. He's the best running back in the game, and he doesn't give you what McCaffrey gives you out of the backfield, but you could definitely win with that. There's no doubt you could win with that. But
he mostly ran for 4 touchdowns and 200 yards in the NFC title game. And
exactly.
And he hadn't been on an active roster in like 6 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
5 years or something. Yeah.
So it sucks that he's going to be out 4 weeks now on the IR. But in theory, and I always hate saying this in the NFL because you never know. Look at my Survivor League. Boop, see you, thanks for coming. And 90% of the American public is out after the first 2 weeks. unless you're playing the Panthers. Like that's almost a layup.
Yeah,
like
always pick the team playing them.
Yeah, about as big. I should have.
Copes has a new theory. He says instead of fading the Panthers, what team are you looking at now?
Now I'm chasing the Broncos around. What the hell's Bo Nix doing? He's clueless.
Yeah, don't do that for too long.
He's clueless.
Well, he's played good defenses the first 2 weeks.
And he's played horribly.
I mean, Caleb Williams
I wanted to chase the Panthers.
Hasn't played much better.
I wanted to chase the but
I would chase the Panthers.
I would chase the Panthers. But with Dalton starting now, they've benched Bryce Young. Now I'm just
I forgot about that.
That's why I'm like, I don't know. I'm weirder about that. Like I was like Mason. I wanted to see. I was like, what's his name on the Raiders? DM.
Oh, Crosby.
Max Crosby. I was gonna say Mason. I was like, that's a kicker. Max Crosby. On the Raiders. I was like,
he would pick up Bryce Young.
He might have legitimately murdered Bryce Young if Bryce Young ended up out there this week. Like I was gonna grab a bowl of popcorn and watch that one. I was like, dude, what the hell's
No, watch Andy Dalton keep him in that game.
Panthers are a joke.
He might.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might keep him in that game.
I'm too scared of him.
Tom, I told you. Remember, like 2 years ago, you were like, "Should I bet the Raiders? They're playing Baker Mayfield in a short week, and Baker Mayfield just got there." And I was like, "Dude, Baker Mayfield's going to beat this team."
Remember, he rolled off the plane and he
won that game. Rams
won that game.
Yeah,
that always happens to the Raiders. They play the new QB that's coming in, and then they lose.
But if you're gonna, McCaffrey's going to be out, and Debo's going to be out. Look, you couldn't find, other than the Panthers, of course, you couldn't find better spots than the Rams. Who, I mean, much like the Niners never win in Minnesota, Shanahan owns McVay. Like, that is a great matchup for them, and they have no receivers, basically. And their top two receivers are out. Yeah. So they usually struggle against the Niners anyway, and then you get the Patriots. So that, I won't say is a layup, but, you're going to have a good chance to win the next two games. Then Debo should be back, hopefully, after that. And then it's just, just kind of hanging in there. And I think the next two games, they're going to have a real good chance to win those. I know they're like 7.5 point favorites in this one. They'll be bigger favorites than that against the Patriots. And then the Cardinals, who I'm still waiting on the little guy to fall. I know he's looked good so far, but I might be the last buyer. I'll be the last buyer of that in the free world. Because I'm still not a fan of his. Well, but we'll see. He's played great so far. I give him credit. I mean, he's played great, and they've looked good.
You are right to be skeptical because I think the new Call of Duty comes out in a couple of weeks. So
he'll
be a little distracted.
Yeah.
There we go. He should struggle. But I mean, you just look around the league, right? It's like you look at 0-2. Baltimore's 0-2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
first time since 2015, I think, under Harbaugh. Yeah.
And they got Dallas coming up. Both those teams, I mean, Dallas is going to want to fall to 1-2, and that's going to be that's going to be a battle royale because that's going to be desperation time for those teams. Minnesota looked good. Darnold looked really good in that game. He's looked really good for 2 games. Tampa goes to Detroit and wins. Although I watched a little bit of that, and you look at the yardage of that game. I mean, they almost doubled them up in yards. So it's still not quite. I mean, I'll give Baker credit, right? I mean, he's gritty as hell, and he fights his ass off, and he finds a way to make plays. He might not make a ton of them, but he seems to make them at the most timely moments where he has to make a play. Right. And they find a way to make one. And then New Orleans, no one saw that one coming. No one. 2 weeks in a row, 40-plus points. I think they scored touchdowns on their first 5 drives against the Cowboys. Carr looks incredible. Kamara looks incredible. Like, that offense just looks I mean, so that's the thing you love about the NFL. It's because you think like baseball, you kind of know. Like, no one's surprised the teams that are battling right now are battling. Basketball, rarely surprised. You might be surprised by a team or two, but for the most part, the teams you think are going to be good are good. NFL, man, it'll surprise you. Like, there'll be teams halfway through the season are 6-2. You're like, how in the hell did that happen? And how is that team 2-6? Or how is that team 3-6? Like, the NFL is the most unpredictable of all the sports, and it's really competitive. And again, outside of Carolina, literally anybody can beat anybody. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know who the biggest surprise is for me. Probably New Orleans, I guess. I don't know if Minnesota would be.
I think the South is maybe a little bit better than we thought, just in general. Maybe. But I don't think. I mean, New Orleans.
I think it's definitely the Saints.
New Orleans might be the best surprise team.
I mean, it's and it's really the Niners' old coach Clint Kubiak totally just changing that offense because they were not a good offense a year ago, and now Kamara looks like McCaffrey and
Kamara of old,
he's I would say by far it's New Orleans because I mean there's some teams here or there like Baltimore being 0-2 that's just kind of fluky like the Raider game I mean their pass defense is not very good in Baltimore but if Justin Tucker makes a field goal that game's different. It's just fluky shit here or there.
No, I agree with you. And mostly, like, not because they beat Carolina. Although I actually thought Carolina would be better this year. Obviously, I was very, very, very wrong.
The line I've been using, Thomas, what did they work on? Like, for the last Bryce Young's horrible. Like, it's an absolute, like, dumpster fire. And they could have had C.J. Stroud, which is the one thing that's going to hang over him forever.
Yeah.
Oh.
What a nightmare.
Yeah.
What an absolute nightmare.
That's rough.
Matt Rule's live in Nebraska, though.
At
least he got out of there.
Yeah,
He's like, let me
he
get out of
3-0?
I think they're undefeated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they smacked Colorado around. We watched that.
After last year, they were loving that, too.
By the way, their quarterback is annoying in Nebraska.
Oh, the guy that thinks he's Mahomes?
Exactly. Like, he's like, I don't think I'm Mahomes. And then he, like, does all the same fucking shit like he does before the games. Yeah. No, he's annoying.
What is it, Raiola, I believe his name is?
Yeah, Raiola, yeah.
Tom, did you see Russell Wilson's latest corny we're calling it?
You know what?
Oh, Tom, have you seen this, dude?
Yeah, but you know what? I have to update this. We got some bad info. So initially we thought that Russell Wilson was inactive for week 1, and he was wearing his shoulder pads on the sidelines.
Yep.
So we were all like, this guy. So
he just threw eye black and shoulder. Like we were of the impression he could not have entered the game under any circumstance. But that was sort of the general thought around football.
Everybody
and
thought
he dressed for the game anyway.
Everybody thought that he was just, being weird Russell Wilson, where he was just wearing shoulder pads and just sitting on the sideline, where there was no way he could get into the game. You're inactive.
Yep.
You had to steal somebody else's shoulder pads to do that on the sidelines. Turns out, I guess I got him bad information, and most people got bad information. He was the emergency third-string quarterback.
So he did dress for that.
Yes. But it does seem like something he would do. He's that
he
weird.
Does. It does.
Yeah.
I'm glad I missed that bad information. I was gone. I missed it altogether. But yes, that is with him. That's plausible.
Yeah,
that is definitely plausible because he's such a weird dude. Hell, he might not start. That might be done. They might just keep letting Fields start if he keeps winning games. Even
I don't know. That offense is
brutal.
not great with Fields.
But what do you do if you keep winning though?
I mean, okay. Do you think the offense could improve if Russell Wilson's out there?
I mean, I think a lot of quarterbacks could improve that offense. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. But from what I've seen is he's not making mistakes.
Right.
And sometimes if you can just not lose a game, you can find a way to win games. And, if you're going to take a few chances, you may have maybe more explosive plays occasionally. You may give yourself a chance to score more points. But then you also bring a little risk into the equation. And I don't think Fields is bringing any risk into the equation right now. Like, he knows we're going to try to run the ball, get field position. The defense is playing lights out right now. Let the defense do their thing. And then we'll have a few shots throughout the course of the game, get some field position, score a few points, and let the defense take over. And I think there's something to be said for a quarterback that knows the strength of the team and doesn't try to say, look, I'm the man. I'm going to make this happen. And maybe you're not capable of it. But nobody knows they're not capable of it. Nobody's going to admit they're not capable of it because if they did, they wouldn't be in that position in the first place. Nobody in the NFL that's a quarterback or at any position says, I can't do this. This is small. But he's kind of figured out, okay, I'm going to minimize some of these risks I'm taking and just kind of let the defense do what they do. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you think Wilson gives you a much better chance to score points, but that's a rough thing. Because I think when you're winning, I think because, again, you're not managing the quarterbacks. Like, Mike Tomlin isn't the coach for the quarterbacks. He's a coach for 53, 55 guys. So, he's got to have all that in mind. Like, I got to do what's best for the team. And if the team feels like, hey, we're winning with this guy, it may not look pretty, but we're winning, then, I think there's something to be said for staying with that. And even if you believe Russell Wilson's a little better quarterback and he may give you a better chance to score some points If you're 3-0, 4-0 by the time he's ready to come back, I don't see how you possibly – because if he comes back and you lose that game, then what do you do?
Yeah.
You say, well, now we go back to Fields, and then Fields like, well, oh, really? Now you're going to go back to the guy? So I always think it's better just to wait until they lose.
If you're winning, just stick with them, yeah.
Yeah, because it's so hard to win. And if you found like a formula that works, even though you may think, they may think, we're kind of doing smoke and mirrors a little bit. Like, we're just kind of, doing a little this and little, hey, what's in my hand here? So you don't pay attention to what's in my hand over here, all that kind of stuff. We're still winning.
Yeah, well, they've been running the ball really effectively, but Pickens has been a nothing, like a zero, and Freiermuth has been pretty much a zero.
Yeah.
He's thrown 1 touchdown. He hasn't thrown any interceptions. They did get 2 road wins against Atlanta and Denver, but Atlanta and Denver.
Atlanta won last night. I mean, we could talk about that game.
I'm of the belief
let's
that
talk
Philly
about
is
that.
soft as hell.
Well, possible.
Here's okay. So are you more mad at the play call, or are you mad that Saquon dropped the ball?
If I'm like a fan?
Well, I mean, just as a sports fan.
Because I wasn't mad. I was happy. I had Atlanta.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I wasn't mad at all. In fact, I was a little miffed that he dropped it, because I think if he caught it, he was going to get the first down and then go down.
Yes.
I don't think he was going to try to score a touchdown.
No,
which
game over.
would have been the easier cover. But I had to sweat through a field goal, and then Cousins going back down. Although Cousins did make it as easy as possible. It was like boop, 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 touchdown. I was like, oh damn.
Well, the Eagles
that was like
rushes.
7 on. That was like 7 on 7.
Yeah, that was horrible.
That was really easy. But I didn't have a certainly didn't have a problem with the play call, because I think it was open. Sometimes you drop the perfect play and the players don't execute, and that's exactly what that was. I think you'd take that every day of the week. Barkley with a chance to catch the ball, and that's probably a first down 95 times, maybe 90 times out of 100. Like, he catches it, he turns it up, and he gets the first down. He dropped it, you didn't, and then you kick the field goal. I know there are those that say, well, then just go for it on 4th down. Go for it on 4th down and try to get the first down, kill the game that way. If you don't get it, they got to go 95 yards. But they didn't. They would have had to go about 60 yards to tie the game. It would have been, or maybe even 50 to tie the game. They would have needed the 95 to score a touchdown and beat you.
Yeah.
That one's tricky because, okay, they go down, kick a field goal, now you're in overtime. Now if they win the coin toss, you could lose on that too. So I didn't really have a problem with what they did. It's just, you got to be able to execute. You got to catch the ball. And then come on, defense. They got to score a touchdown. You hold them out of the end zone. It's not like they need to drive down and get a field goal. They need to get in the end zone. And it was Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
It was chunk, chunk, chunk. And I think after that it was incomplete pass and then touchdown. Like it was about as easy, as stress-free as a 2-minute drive could possibly.
It was like 30 seconds of real time. It was so fast.
Well, that's why everybody wants to jump on Sirianni for that one. Like, oh, what are you doing?
But that's not his play call. That's not his play call, though.
Yeah, but he probably signed off on it.
Well, he did, but the thing that people got to realize about Sirianni is he's like a CEO coach now, where he's not calling the plays. So that's on Kellen Moore. But people are going to grill him because the people hate him. But if you're going to blame anybody, I think it's probably the defense for letting that score happen.
Well, exactly. That's and I've said this a lot, and I say it with basketball a lot. I say it with every sport a lot. The manager or the coach are the two easiest. They're the easiest people to rip, because so many people think they can do it, right? We got all the analytics out there now. Everybody can read the stats. What are the best lineups? What plays? If you do this, you got a 52% chance to win. If you do this, you got a 59% chance to win. Why didn't you do this? So it just, everybody thinks they know what's going on. And if it doesn't happen, then you blame the coach, blame the manager, because they pinch hit for this guy instead of that guy, or they left this guy in 2 pitches too long because you don't let him go to the lineup 3 times, or you don't let him face this guy after the 7th inning. You don't. So everybody thinks they know. So they want to blame the manager, the coach. All Saquon had to do is catch the ball.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about any of it. Saquon drops the ball. That's on him. He knows it's on him. I mean, that game was over. catch the ball. He didn't. Why? Because it happens sometimes. I mean, it's a ball. Everything doesn't happen the way it should 100% of the time. Sometimes just things happen. I don't know. I just dropped the damn ball. I thought I had it, dropped it. And then it's like, okay, kick the field goal. How about the defense step up? They have to go 70 yards. 70 yards. How about getting a little bit of pressure on the quarterback? How about tightening up the defense so every play is not a chunk? It's like 10 yards, 17 yards, 20 yards. So you can blame him all you want. But the players could have very easily stepped up in that situation, made a play, catch it, turn it up, first down, game over, or had several chances to make other plays on defense, and you didn't do it. So that's where my focus generally lies. It's not so much with the managers, the coaches, unless they make egregious decisions over and over and over. You're just like, God, I just don't understand this guy's logic at all. I just didn't think that was that. I really didn't think that was that egregious. I'm more focused on the players not being able to make a play because the call was fine.
Yeah,
should have been a first down, and then, I mean, defense. They make a play. Get a tip ball. Get a pick. Maybe get a sack. You're in great shape at that point. They did nothing. They didn't even come close to making a play. I mean, dudes were wide open all over the field. It was just, again, it was like a shooting gallery.
11-yard pass to Pitts, 21-yard pass to Mooney, 26-yard pass to Mooney. 5-yard pass to London that went out of bounds, so they stopped the clock. Then the incomplete one to Ray, which basically hit him in the helmet. And then the touchdown.
But you
to
could
London.
argue that was a penalty in the end zone there.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, the way that his body was turned, not only he had no hands on it.
And something that people aren't bringing up today, the Eagles actually benefited big time from a call that did not happen earlier. On the 4th and 1, where Bijan got stopped by C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he threw his helmet off. And that would have
he did.
That would have resulted in a first down. And people are like, oh, his helmet fell off. No,
it didn't.
It was loose, but he threw it off.
He did.
And that would have resulted in a first down, and who knows what happens after that.
No, absolutely. And oh, by the way, the Drake London touchdown, wide open.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get any more wide open, like, from the 5-yard line. It was
Justin Jefferson, maybe he's pretty open.
well, he kind of had to run a long way too. That was a bad.
And he's like, I'm going to go this way, and all the Niners are like, oh, what? You're going the other way now?
That whole thing was bad. That whole thing was bad. Oh my gosh! You know what? I told my buddy this yesterday. We're watching, I think, the Cincinnati-Kansas City game, and I think it was after like Cincinnati went down, kicked a field goal from like inside the 10. Then the Chiefs kicked a field goal inside the 10. Then Cincinnati kicks another. And I looked at him and I go, all these games I'm watching, I know it's only 2 weeks. I go, but it sure seems like teams are having a real hard time scoring inside the red zone, and specifically inside the 10-yard line.
Oh yeah.
I think back in the day, it seemed like teams had a harder time getting to the red zone, but when they got there, they scored. Like, they scored a decent percentage of the time. And I saw a stat today that it's the lowest percentage of touchdowns, like inside is it the red zone or 10 since 2006.
Yeah,
it's wild, all these games that I'm watching that, like, and I think some of it probably has to do with teams going for it on 4th down and missing it. But even that, I've seen. I bet you went back and look at all the box scores of all these games in the first couple weeks. See how many field goals have been like inside of 30 yards, like 20-yard field goals, 19-yard field goals, stuff like that. It seems like a lot. I don't know why. I don't know what the answer is. It just seems like teams are having a real hard time. Like, you got to be really, really, really precise inside the 10 to score a touchdown.
Well, now it seems like a lot of teams just need a good running game, a good defense, and a kicker that can kick 50-yard field goals. Because there has been
like everybody now.
Yeah,
that's everybody.
There's been a shit ton of guys with strong legs. Like, basically that Chicago Bears-Texans game was just which kicker could kick the furthest field goal and then play defense.
Yep.
It's great. Like, the passing offenses are not happening right now. And that usually happens this early on in the season. But it's crazy how everyone talks about, like, oh, you don't see teams run the football that much anymore. It's really only the 49ers. Now it's a lot of teams just running the football and trying to kick 50-yard field goals and try to out-kick the other team at this point. This early on. The passing offense will come, but it's just crazy how many guys are like Janikowski out there this early in the season.
Doesn't it seem like to you guys, because you guys all play fantasy as well, like the running backs are having much bigger numbers than they are used to having?
Agreed. Run defense have been bad.
Yeah, it just seems like the running backs are like the way to go. Like I look around, like, God, look at all these big numbers from running backs. I don't know.
Yeah,
I need better running backs. That's what I'm trying to say.
Who do you have currently?
Well, I got lucky last week. I had Charbonnet. He had 17, but anytime somebody scores a touchdown, they're going to have decent numbers.
Yeah.
And I never use that as a justification to pick him up or keep him. Like, everybody always does that. Like, oh, I'm going to get this guy off the waiver wire. I'm like, well, he scored 2 touchdowns. What do you think he's going to do that every week?
Right.
I only have like 3 catches. Like, get that dude for the Bengals. What's his name? I can't even pronounce his name.
The wide receiver. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they had 2 touchdowns. He had like 2 catches or 3 catches.
Or is that who you're talking about?
Something like that.
Jim Nance was obsessed with his name. I can't remember who it is, though.
I can't remember.
What about the dude for the Chargers, Johnston, that had 2 touchdowns?
Oh, yeah. Everybody was
available.
To get those guys.
Well, everybody thought he was a bust, and now he's playing well.
Now, he had 1 good game, and I don't even know if it was a good game.
Yeah,
he had
true.
2 touchdown catches.
Yeah. And it was against the Panthers, too.
You know what else has been weird? There's been a lot of tight end numbers that have been like really high. Like Gesicki went crazy. Like that guy's still in the league. Hunter Henry had a huge game this week. There's a bunch of tight end numbers. Yeah.
Noah Fant went crazy for me last week.
Did he?
2 points.
Oh.
2 points. Because I have team hamstring right now. I have Evan Ingram hamstring out. I just traded for AJ Brown.
I saw that too. I was like, nice move, Thomas.
I told Weston, I go, bro, what? I go, thanks. Trade me a lemon? He goes, I didn't know.
I don't think anybody knew until the Lisa Salters got the scoop.
Yeah, I know. So that doesn't do me any good. Then I got Tyreek, who doesn't have a quarterback anymore. So just
that's rough.
Just everything falling apart right. And then
speaking of handcuffs, I'm really glad I got JP Mason for our league because I have McCaffrey. So
now that was a good move.
Yeah, I had to get him.
I think you got him second to last round, didn't you?
I think I did, and I was kind of thinking. I actually have Mason in a couple of leagues where I don't even have McCaffrey. Where I was like, that he wouldn't be playing all preseason. Who knows? I thought Niners love to have a second running back, and right now he's the second one. So
no, that was a good pickup. That was a really good pickup. See, I run into problems because I have guys on my bench, but I don't want to get rid of them just in case. Like I draft them for later.
Little projects,
season.
Yeah, you get a little project.
Yeah, like I got Bucky Irving, and
Tampa,
I got him just because I really like the name.
You got to work him into your
offense.
offense.
What a cool name, Bucky Irving.
Yeah, Bucky Irving into the duck dong offense. You got to work him
exactly.
Dong offense needs a Bucky.
You go spread dong out there.
That's an old school name. Good old Bucky Irving.
Good old Bucky Irving and the wing T. Let me tell you. So I got him. And then the other one I might give up on, but I don't want to just in case, is Dowdle, the guy for the
Rico Dowdle.
You like that name, Rico Dowdle.
I do like the name Dowdle. I always call him Dowdell, and Weston's like, he's not French, okay? It's Dowdle. There's no extra consonant in there. Yeah. Dowdell. So Dowdle. But I might get rid of him. But I wanted to hold on to Bucky Irving because he's getting a lot of carries, and I figured, well, if White ever goes down, maybe he can. What do you guys think about Steele?
Oh, Carson Steele from the Chiefs?
Yeah, now that Pacheco's out.
So they signed Kareem Hunt today to the practice squad. They got that guy Steele, and then there's also rumors like McKinnon might come back or something.
No,
really?
Kareem Hunt.
I said that. Yeah, Kareem
I saw Hunt. Oh, yeah, so he's definitely coming back.
Oh, you think about might sign Jerick McKinnon again?
Was floated, I believe.
Interesting.
He's like 32 or something, though, too.
But they said that Carson Steele was the guy that they were giving the ball to at the goal line.
Yeah, I thought about trying to pick him up.
That sounds like a porn name, by the way. Carson Steele.
Carson Steele.
It's unbelievable.
You're thinking of Lexington Steele, Tim. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah,
of course.
That's Cope's favorite.
Tim just dropped him like immediately. Tim couldn't get out of his head.
Oh, no.
Which is funny. Usually the problem with a lot of his videos,
Steel.
too.
Can't get out of my head.
Think he has that look? That blue steel look?
I turned left.
Yeah, I don't know about Carson Steele as a fantasy guy.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know either. I gotta try to do something though. You know what? Really, so here's where I really got on Weston, because he dropped Jackson Smith and Jigba, and I was like, I should pick. I was like, I should pick him up.
By the way, hold on, Tom. Did you see how Chris Russo pronounced his name today?
No.
Okay, we'll.
No.
Oh, no, dude.
I don't even want.
Was it a hard in Jigba or a soft in Jigba?
Oh, no.
Let's just say.
Was there an A at the end of it, or what?
Yeah, was
Let's just say we'll save
Jackson Smith and
We'll
Jigba?
save it for the sound soiree later this week.
Yeah, I don't even
dude,
wanna-
please tell me he said in Jigber. Smith and Jigber would be insane, dude. That'd be all time.
I don't know. So I go, I'll pick him up,
tell you
and
what.
I'm like ninth, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to get him. Everybody's going to try to get him this week, and I go, what the hell is he doing on the waiver wire anyway? And because I traded Weston 2 players for 1, I traded him. He gave me AJ Brown, and I gave him ETN and Pickens, and he had to drop Smith and Jigba. So I go, what? Why don't you just throw him in the trade then? I go, I would have taken him if you're going to drop him.
I always ask that in 2 for 1s. You ask the
give
guy,
him to me.
You ask the guy, who are you going to drop? Because you have to drop somebody. And I always just say, well, then throw him to me, and then I'll decide. It's my player to be named. I'll decide what to do with
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man, see, I haven't been playing long enough. That would have been nice advice to have before.
Well, we're in the same league, bro. So
yeah,
sorry.
I didn't even think about that.
I'm getting out of here, Tom. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bro.
All right, later. Catch you later.
All right, Cope's signing off. Actually, we do have the sound of.
Okay, let me listen to it.
All right, so this is today on, what is this, First Take? Or no, he wasn't on First Take. Okay, this is on his radio show, Chris Russo.
The Seahawks blocked a 48-yard field goal with 4 minutes left, which would have put the Pats up 6. That was a big play in this game. Smith played well, and his receivers, Metcalf caught 10, Jackson Smith and Juba, the kid from Ohio State, he caught 12 more, and the Seattle team is 2-0. They get Miami next week without Tua, so they got a good chance to go 3-0.
Oh, my God.
Jackson Smith, Kunjuba.
Oh,
That was incredible.
let me hear it one more time.
Jackson Smith and Juba.
He's lucky.
So
that could have been 10 times worse.
Oh,
That's so good.
oh, that's so good.
Jackson Smith and Juba.
Juba.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh my God.
All right, that's a good one to end on. All right, Tom, glad you're back, man.
Oh, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right, that's it for the KNBR Off-Air. We'll do this again tomorrow. We'll see you guys.